I was thinking about something the other day, and it came up because actually I went outside to grab something out of my truck that I'm currently in right now, that I've been driving around, and it was in the driveway. And opened up the garage, and the ex was there talking with my middle daughter, and didn't realize she was there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have went out. Kind of shocked them, shocked me. I grabbed what I needed to out of the truck and ended up going back in. But one of the things about it that really struck me, and it falls in line with a reoccurring comment that I hear a lot within the Discord and even in the comments on the YouTube channel, and that is how these people seem to have no consequence for things. And in that, every time I interact with my ex, unless somehow she's not getting absolutely what she wants, she's skipping along, happier than a clam. And if you're struggling with this, it can be really frustrating because it seems like nothing affects these people. They get away with everything. Their lives aren't impacted. And whenever you're struggling and you're trying to deal with this, it becomes really complicated because you're dealing with your trauma and your frustration and your anger and the loss and the hurt and all those different emotions, and nothing seems to faze them. It's like nothing happens. And I get that a lot, where people will say, why do they get away with everything? They're doing something else, or they're with a different person, or their life seems to go off without a hiccup. And the piece of this that we tend to forget is the fundamental core of the person that you're dealing with and that you're talking about. And what I mean by that is you really have to take not an immediate look and a really close, like right up to your face look at what's going on. You have to back off and look at the whole thing. What I mean by that is, more than likely when you look at your relationship, it was full of chaos, it was full of drama. Maybe they were able to appear like everything was fine with you, but fundamentally there were issues in that relationship. And they carry that into everything else that they do. So they might be quote unquote winning, and it can be really frustrating, but they can't get away from who they are. They cannot instantaneously become better people, surround themselves with better things. Everything is going to be chaos and have problems. They can fake it. Remember, they're the masters of illusion. So when you interact with them and they appear like everything is great, you have to keep in mind that is their public facing face. And the easiest way to deal with that is to remember how things were when you were with them. When you were out in public, more than likely, that's exactly the same thing. You guys put on the perfect family facade. Everyone thought everything was great and spectacular. Everyone thought everything was normal. And then behind closed doors, you were dealing with the anxiety, the stress, the frustration, the disappointment, the betrayal, the discards, all that different stuff. And it's really tough to lose sight of that whenever you're outside that bubble, because when we're in the middle of it, we're within that bubble, and all you're seeing is their external persona. If you're in the stage of this where you're struggling with that, keep that in mind and remember the reality of the situation. I can look at it in my situation where, and I've mentioned this in a couple of comments recently, that when I was married, there was always things that were going wrong. No matter what we did, something would tarnish the entire event. If we bought something new, it would break. Something would get dented. Something would need to get repaired. It was just one of those constant things that there was always chaos and anxiety around things. Now, since I've separated from that situation, yeah, things still happen. I'm not going to say that everything is just a bowl full of rainbows, but for the most part, it's not. Those catastrophes don't happen on the regular basis that they used to. However, from what I hear through the kids and stuff, and from when I do have to interact with the ex, it's a constant barrage of just chaos. She buys a new car and she runs it into the wall, so it's all dinged up. The what you call it, the trunk breaks, so they have to run a cable through it. Equipment breaks, TVs break. It's just like constantly, flat tires, battery goes out. Which are normal things, but it's like, it's always this constant state of chaos. And so when I was with the ex, I would rationalize that things just happen, that is just the way things are, things go wrong. And it really wasn't until I got away from her and underneath that umbrella of doom that things really started to look better. Now when things quote unquote bad happens, a lot of time I just take a pause and I'm like, okay, let's see where this is going, because there's a good chance that this is a deviation to try to get me to meet somebody new or see something different or open my mind to a new experience. So I don't get stressed about stuff as much as I used to, because I'm like, okay, what does this mean? What's really the underlying message of this, as opposed to just your life sucks and everything's going to be bad, right? Because I don't really believe that anymore. I think that we have an opportunity, a serious opportunity to have a good life and move on. So just wanted to bring this up because I know this, I know in the beginning stages of this, I struggled with that a lot. And when it looked like she was getting away with everything and her life was just hunky-dory and I felt like my life was spiraling out of control, it's really frustrating. It's frustrating whenever the mask drops, you see what you're dealing with, you understand what's going on, you're dealing with the consequences, you're dealing with what they're able to take or, basically take from you, and you think that they're having this spectacular life where they're just skipping along. It's not true, guys. It's not. It is. They are the same damaged person they've always been. They are trapped in that. They really, unless they have some type of life-changing epiphany, which enables them to really take a hard look at their life, they're going to keep repeating the same patterns of behavior. It's just inevitable. So on that, if you want to add to the discussion, do that in the comments below. If you like the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell notification so YouTube will actually tell you about it. Because like I've said many times, if you don't hit the bell, YouTube ain't going to tell you about when I post videos. And run on over to Dad Surviving Divorce channel to sign up for the newsletter. Join us over on the Discord. We're getting a lot of good information exchange there and getting a lot of good ideas for future videos and stuff. So if you want your voice heard, run over and do that. And I will chat with you on the next video. Take care.